I will either deeply regret filming this video or be mildly impressed with the results. I'm about to go on a vacation for around 2 weeks, and that's the perfect amount of time to completely reinvent myself. I did this past summer when we went to Europe. I dyed my hair twice because I wanted to arrive in Europe and be a different version of NILS. And so that's what I did. I've been vanilla NILS for a little bit of time now, and I'm ready to spruce things up. And by spruce things up, I mean spruce things up. I'm gonna be dyeing my eyebrows, dyeing my beard, cutting my own hair, as well as bleaching my own hair. Probably something that I should go to a stylist or a professional for, but A, I don't really have that money because I'm fun employed right now. B, but I thought it could be fun. This video is a full circle moment from the time that I got a perm. In that video, I saw a picture of a guy with bleached hair, dark eyebrows, and a nice shorter haircut, and I said, should I just do this today? Because this is kind of a vibe. That'll be the next video. I'm not even kidding. Here we are, because that's still the inspiration picture. For these next 2 weeks, we'll be going to California. And I feel like a California blonde look is my destiny. Am I qualified to cut my own hair? No. Have I cut my own hair previously? Yes. Did it turn out well? No. It actually was a disaster. I don't really have a plan. I think I'm just gonna look at the image, look at my hair, and then try to match the two. In college, I used to cut my own hair just because growing up, my mom used to cut my hair. And so when I got to college, I didn't want to really find a barber to do it. I feel like I'm just doing stuff and not even paying attention, and I'm starting to get a little nervous. Maybe I come up with a plan now that I've gotten... Oh no, let me keep going. I bought these thinning scissors. Basically, when you cut, it only cuts half of the hair that's in it so that it adds texture. But I learned very quickly that you have to use this with caution, because what I did the first time I got these was I just cut my entire head of hair with these. My hair was Albert Einstein. It was sticking up entirely because it was so textured to the point where it couldn't even be put down. I don't even know how to resolve that. Not my best look, but also not my worst. I also feel like barbers do this, you know? They like slide down. Oh, that's kind of nice. This is about the size of a field mouse. You know, it's not bad, but it does look like a little Polish boy or something. One exciting life update. We're gonna be moving from Boston to the Bay Area this summer. Yes, that's right, a cross-country road trip with 2 dogs, a bunny, and a snake, part like 7. We're gonna be going there because my fiance John got a job there for the summer, but it's perfect because I am also going to be working on the startup with my old coworker. I know, looking at me now, co-founder. I talked to her about this and I was like, hey, are you okay with me still dressing up like the Grinch and posting it on YouTube? And she said yes. I don't know if she was just being nice. Let me know in case you're watching this, because it was a concern of mine, but to be honest, I feel like that will be the next generation of leaders in this country. Not to say I'm gonna be a leader per se. That Ryan Serent or whatever, the guy that has the multi-million-dollar real estate company in New York, he has a very vulnerable / casual, sometimes silly presence online. I think that's gonna start to be the norm. People are no longer weirded out by the fact that people have digital footprints, no matter how professional you are. I guess we'll see. If I get booted out from this startup because some venture firm is like, hey, you can't dress up like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and go to every bar at SantaCon, I'm gonna be like, you know what? This was fun, but I'm gonna go live my truth. Okay. What have I done? I'm so glad I'm not a girl / have really long hair, because I would be the most susceptible person to cutting bangs and having it turn into a complete failure. Kind of like what's going on now. Oh boy. Worst case, I can buzz most of it off, which is a great plan B. Minus the fact that the last time I got a really short haircut, I didn't realize how big of this I have. Recession. That was a little bit of a jump scare. The thing is, I am proud of myself because I am proceeding with caution. Usually I just go in and cut off a massive chunk and then have to work with that and match the rest of my head to be that. This time I'm definitely taking a gradual approach. Like, I can always take away more, but you know, you can't put more hair back on your head. Ooh, I tasted the burrata ravioli I had for lunch. Sometimes you burp and it tastes kind of good. Like you had some ice cream and it tastes a little like vanilla, and then other times it tastes like a nasty sausage and you're like, what? I didn't even eat sausage. We have now upgraded to more of like a house mouse. Ever since I was little, I wanted to bleach my hair. Thank you so much, Mom, for never letting me, despite me begging you. Because I don't think I would have actually enjoyed it much as a kid, especially because I definitely would have gotten more bullied than I already was getting bullied. Specifically, I was getting bullied because I used to wear the brightest colored jeans. Like, I bought these bright orange jeans and loved them. Wore them every single day and got made fun of. Specifically, there was one kid that was 1 year older than me that used to make fun of those jeans. But I was like, you know what? You're kind of lame anyway, so I'm not gonna take your opinion too intensely. Kept wearing those jeans until I myself outgrew them. I didn't feel they fit my vibe anymore, and so I left them in 7th grade. Then I came to high school, and I see this kid again after a year of not seeing him because I was in 8th grade in middle school, and the high school was separate. Oh God, what the? I saw him again in high school. Guess what he was wearing? Bright orange jeans. I didn't make a comment, but internally I healed a little portion of myself. So the lesson there is, when somebody is saying something about you, it's most likely jealousy, insecurity, who knows. Just do what you want. Let me take inventory of what I've done, because I just keep moving forward. Unfortunately, my fiance doesn't know that by me doing this right now, I am signing him up for helping me correct any errors. I tried to watch some videos of how to do DIY haircuts. I couldn't even pay attention. I am excited for a new haircut because my current hairstyle requires so much hairspray. Literally, I'm Treseme's #1 customer, constantly restocking, and I get the mega tub and somehow rip through it so quickly. I say somehow, as if my hair isn't rock solid after I use the hairspray because I have hairspray blindness. Not entirely sure when I should stop. I feel like I'm doing an art project right now. Only problem is I have to show it to everyone. I'm doing this on a Tuesday because on Friday I have an interview with the venture capital firm for the startup. I was thinking, if I look horrendous, at least I have a few weekdays to try to get to a barber to resolve it, but that's worst case. I'm just pouring all my energy into my business, and so I don't have a lot of time for, Actually, this takes way more time than going to a barber. Unfortunately, I'm kind of over it already, but I know I have a long way to go. Oh God. I'm a little concerned what our friends are gonna think about my appearance tomorrow, especially after I dye my eyebrows. Am I in a crisis? I don't think so, but the first step is to admit it. We're fast approaching rat stage. I put some water in it, and I kind of feel like I'm starting to see the vision. I know that may seem crazy considering what it looks like. I want to be hip. I want to be at the cutting edge of men's style. The fact that I don't actually know how to cut hair is actually working in favor of the style that I want, which is a messy haircut. The worst part of this is whatever I do on this side, good or bad, I will have to try to match to do on the other side. Oh, amazing. My YouTube video got 3 views, one of which is from me. I see my landlord's car outside. He didn't say that he's coming over to our spot this time, so I'm just hoping he's only here to check in on the neighbors. The first time I was worried about this, it was when I was dressed up as the Grinch. I had a little heart attack because I remember that my landlord said that they had to come fix the HVAC. I couldn't remember if the email said Monday or Tuesday. Imagine if the HVAC people just knocked on the door right now. What would I do? Wait, they did say Tuesday, right?
Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
Now I would be risking him seeing me mid-haircut. Remember, NILS, whatever you do on this side, you have to replicate here. Much harder to do this with your left hand. That looks about even. At this stage, it could be much worse. I feel like I look like one of the Beatles. The beautiful thing about a haircut like this is you can rest assured that nobody else in the world is gonna have this haircut. I kind of like it. The thing I have to remember is that it's going to be blonde after I bleach it, which I think will also look pretty good. Only time will tell. Back is gonna be my fiance's problem. Sorry, John. Should I try cutting with my left hand? Probably not. Accidentally jabbed it in there. Okay, well, I can't see it. I'm gonna go in now with just a few cuts of these thinning scissors just to add some texture here and there. Oh, this side feels so much shorter than this side. Whatever. Let's just hope I never jump in a pool and let my hair air dry. I'm gonna go style this to the best of my abilities just to see where we've landed.
A few moments later.
I kind of like it. I mean, it's obviously very chaotic, but I kind of like that vibe. I think I'm a fan. I realize this is an odd hairstyle. Very much so looks like a DIY project, but that's exactly what it was. Let's move on to the second step of this makeover, which is dyeing my eyebrows. I've gone down this road once before. When I was in college, I was doing an activity activity that led to my eyebrow accidentally getting scorched. I had burnt off part of my eyebrow and it turned entirely white, and when I rubbed it away, it was just dust. And so I had a little bit of a bald spot on my eyebrow. I thought that the best solution to that was to get Just for Men and dye that part of my eyebrow so that it looked a little darker, so that it maybe blended in better to the rest of my eyebrow. I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, I guess I wasn't really thinking. All it ended up doing was making that one spot very dark, so I had a literal dot on my eyebrow. I had no choice but to dye the rest of my eyebrows, but I left it on a little too long and I came out with the darkest eyebrows imaginable. The panic that set in. I had a party to go to that evening, so obviously everyone was gonna see my freshly blocked out eyebrows. Frantically started Googling, how do you undo permanent hair dye? Answer is, you can't. Some Redditors said that putting Colgate toothpaste on can help relieve it. Zipped over to the store, got some Colgate, put it on, didn't help. After that, I ended up just trying to pull out some of my eyebrows in order to hopefully thin it enough where, despite it being dark, by thinning it, maybe it would look more normal. Also didn't work. So I just ended up going to that party and for the next few weeks wearing a baseball cap really, really low where the brim put my eyebrows in a shadow. No one ever made a comment about it. I'm just hoping that what went wrong is at that time I got a color that was a little too dark. This time I got medium brown in the shade M35. I would much rather have it be way too light and have to go out and get a little bit of a darker shade than doing what I did before. My plan is to dye half of my mustache so that I know what color it's going to end up. I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes later.
It's very subtle, which is exactly what I'm going for. I don't want it to look like noticeably darker eyebrows. I just want them to look a little more full. Technically, this is looks maxing, but I was on this train way before. I've always been looks maxing, before it even had a term. I love how easy this is. You just mix these two things together, and then all of a sudden you have this fun paste that can transform your whole look. I have to be careful not to get in my eye, because technically, I don't think you're supposed to do this near your eye. I saw people do this on their eyelashes. So bad. Potential blindness. Also, I'm starting with the parts of my brow that aren't as full. Maybe those develop a little quicker than the other part so that feels more even. I don't know. I'm getting flashbacks to that terrifying day when I used this. Oh wait, timer.
5 minutes later.
I don't know if you can tell a difference, but I definitely can. They are very subtle, but that's exactly what I was going for. Doing too much right now would just make the second part of this makeover, bleaching my hair, make me look like I'm losing my mind. It's a few days later. This is what the hair is looking like. I did get on a call with one of my friends and they said parts of it look too uneven, so I did clean it up a little bit more. My fiance cut the back. What does it look like? I did go out in public like this yesterday. Nobody said anything, which is either a good sign or a bad sign because nobody said, I like your haircut. Is silence what I'm looking for right now? I kind of would have loved a compliment. But anyway, aside from the hair, I did think that I went a little too chill on the eyebrows. I was scared because the previous time that I did this, obviously it was such a traumatic experience. Me literally frantically like, I gotta pick up my eyebrows. I didn't want to experience that regret again. I've already gotten used to them and I kind of want to look at myself and be like, I did something different. I'm gonna do another layer. Round 2. This is dangerously easy. If there were like 3 to 4 more steps other than just combining these two things together, I wouldn't be as inclined to do this, let alone go back in for round 2, but it's so easy. I'm like, might as well. Kudos to Just for Men. They really crushed this. As I was doing this previously, I think I was flicking this too hard because on my desk there were all these little splatters of the dye speckled my entire desk. I did think that at one point I felt something go in my eye. It didn't sting, so I assumed it was fine, but I do know that this is like not chill to go in your eye. I'm going a little slower to not risk flicking a drop of it into my eye and blinding myself. I should do a thumbnail. Oh, I forgot to set the timer. Somebody commented on one of my TikToks today, whatever's wrong with you, don't change. Made my day. Honestly, I can't tell if there's any difference, which maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Tune in next time, because there's definitely gonna be a change when I singe all of my hairs off and bleach my head. I'll see you next week.